band play.
100K on the protect, living life with no regrets. Designer when I get dressed. Summertime I wear the fresh. Put a leg behind her head. Night she gonna bed. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these chicks. Living life with no regrets.
All right, cool. We are recording on all three items, so we'll jump into the introduction. So, awesome. Well, Sled Talk listeners, welcome back to the next episode of Sled Talk. This is actually episode 1 of the Q&A style podcast. So we've got, if you're listening to this, you won't see everybody's faces. You'll hear voices, but if you're on YouTube watching this, you'll see we've got a couple of faces in the house. So this is something that I had put a post out on Instagram, kind of, telling the followers about this idea of these Q&As, and here we are doing the first one. So today's special guest is Mr. Kyle Saxton. Kyle, what's up, man? Appreciate you jumping on here.
How's it going? Good.
And,
Heck yeah.
And so we've got some other guests on here. We've got Travis Norton, Thomas Mabbitt, and Levi Varner, who happen to all three be previous guests on the Sled Talk show as well. So, boys, what's up? How are you guys?
Doing good. Good.
Everybody talk at once. Absolutely. Perfect. Awesome. So without further ado, let's start going around and, creating some conversations and talk about some snowmobiling, something that all of us hold near and dear to our heart and are moderately obsessed with or extremely. So Travis, let's kick it over to you, man. I know you guys got to say what's up, you and Kyle. So Travis, let's jump into some questions, start some conversation.
Yeah. So to hit it off first, what's your favorite summertime activity to kind of keep you in sled shape? Something that kind of keeps you on your toes.
Favorite things, dirt biking, like enduro style riding. Never been much for tracks, but really like the enduro, like technical stuff on dirt bikes. I mountain biked in the past. I'm just now getting back into that. So pedaling a bit and gym, weightlifting. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to do some trail riding enduro too as well. So that's awesome. Keeps that arm strength.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, and the throttle control, everything.
Yep.
It's all really good transfers.
Oh yeah. Should I hit another question here then, or
yeah. So we can organically pop in and out and Thomas or Levi, if you hear something that Travis says that piques your attention, don't be afraid to jump in. I'm gonna jump in and say the dirt biking thing, right? Like I've always loved dirt bikes ever since I was a little kid. Never been on one, and a week ago, I bought a little 125 pit bike and created a pit bike track at my new house. And so for me, for the longest time, like I've only ever snowmobiled. And it's a couple months out of the year, right? And then I jumped on this bike and dude, every time I'm nothing but smiles because I get this throttle therapy in the middle of the summer. I'm not used to that at all. And it's freaking nuts, and I'm like addicted now. I'm like, oh no. So I just wanted to, obviously riding a little pit bike's a lot different than a full-size bike and the strength and all that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to chime in there and say that real quick.
What kind of enduro bike do you ride, Kyle?
I have a KTM 300. It's a 15. Yeah, set up for enduro. Got radiator, fan, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Travis, you got more?
Yeah. So with some of this big stuff we see everybody doing now, like you and Caleb and everything out there on social, what's kind of the next safety evolution for riders going big like that? Everybody's getting really big in the avalanche, but what's kind of your next step?
I think being physically fit's kind of where people need to push, and it's something that should be highlighted more. Definitely. You can wear all the safety stuff in the world, but you crash, you can only take so much and take what your body can handle. So if you're in top shape, you're going to be able to take a lot more than if you're, in weaker shape. So I definitely push safety stuff. I've been pushing mouth guards more. I cracked like 3 teeth last year, 2 years ago. So I've been kind of pushing mouth guards pretty heavy. And I think the neck brace stuff's pretty good for whiplash on some of that stuff to avoid. But I think the best thing you can do is focus on your physical health as far as being safe.
Yep. Stay pliable.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that mouth guard really comes in handy. I wasn't wearing one this season, and I started jumping. And took a pretty big hit, and tooth went right through the tongue. Well, not through the tongue, but I took a big, nice chunk off of it, and I used my.
Oh,
I didn't want to stop jumping the rest of the day, so I actually like borrowed my buddy's mouth guard, put it in my mouth. We just shared the rest of the day. Better than
nice.
Harley.
I like it.
I went to Sporting Goods and bought a gold grilled looking one. So I was like, whatever.
Heck yeah.
So I got another one for you. What's your favorite 509 product? I'm a big 509 guy. What's your top level stuff?
Helmet. Love their helmets. Like the carbon one, super light. I really like light helmets.
Which,
I'm not a big fan after wearing a carbon one of a standard like heavier one.
which color scheme's your favorite?
That black and orange they had out. I don't know if they still got it out or not. It was one of the original ones I got from them. You can see the carbon fiber twill in it and then like orange accents on it.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
And what do you think about like a factory snow bike? Do you think that's going to be in the future? Just straight up, maybe even a snowmobile manufacturer coming out with a snow bike with more snowmobile-like features on it.
I bet it's coming, especially with Polaris buying Timbersled. I'll bet there's something in the works there. I have no clue on that, but I would assume that if they're buying out Timbersled, they're going to eventually want to sell a whole product as well as, a complete package. So I'm sure that it's going to go that way for someone.
Yeah, I think there could be some really good technology adapted over from snowmobiles onto snow bikes that could really take that kind of to the next level.
Definitely.
Even like birds and things like that.
Would you try out the snow bike, or would you?
I'm not a snow bike guy. I've rode them before, and not a fan of them, but
Yeah.
Maybe if it had snowmobile power, he would.
yeah, possibly.
Would you ever try an electric snowmobile, Kyle, if you had the opportunity?
I'd try
Just
it.
to try it at least.
I'd try it. I think the battery technology has a long ways to go before there's anything decent or that I'd want to go way back in the backcountry on.
Yeah, for sure. Heck yeah. Travis, you got any other questions, or you good?
I'll tell you what I do, but I'll defer to someone else for a little while.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I don't have to ask him.
Gotcha. Okay. Thomas, let's go to you, brother.
All right, so Kyle, I've eat, sleep, breathe Arctic Cat my whole life, and I just got to ask, what makes you stick with Cat instead of jumping ship to Polaris or Ski-Doo?
That's kind of a tough question. I'm be making some changes this coming year, but I've stuck with them in the past. Just because I've loved their chassis and I love how great they hold up. Technology moves though.
Yep, we're all seeing that, especially this year with what Cat released. Kind of a bummer, and I'm sure you got some information on that, don't you?
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's tough. I think a lot of us are going to have to make a switch one day if, our brand, Green, doesn't step up and keep producing like they used to. It's tough.
Hey,
I understand completely.
What'd you say, Travis?
You kind of cut out on that. What'd you say?
Was that me?
I think.
it was Kyle.
Oh man, this is brutal. This is where it gets fun. Travis, what was the comment that you had made when Thomas was talking about Cat keeping
I
up?
said at least we can all buy a Lynx now.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Thomas, you got another few questions?
That was my biggest question. I mean, I'll pass it on to Levi. I might think of something here soon, but yep, I'll pass it on.
Okay, cool. Levi, you got some good stuff for Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, I wanted to ask, what was your sled build for your season? What was the funnest thing, coolest thing that you put on your sled for your last season or whatever this season?
Grab seat. Most fun you can have on a sled, a grab seat. But being serious, I just like stuff that makes the sled hold up so I can ride it all day. I'm really hard on stuff. So if I can put on stuff that helps it hold up and take my abuse, that's the products that I'm after. My kind of main ones, I'll throw CFR bars on them. Those are really hard to bend and they got good grip, good bends to them. Rogue Concept has some great products for protecting the tunnel. I'm really bad at bending tunnels, so that really helps my cause there. Ice Age really helps with the rails. Stock rails bend. Everyone knows that. Alpha or twin rail, they all bend. But Ice Age has been great helping out with that. One thing that I've always never really bought is shocks, and then got good shocks a couple of years ago, and that's made hell of a difference. I've been running those Elkas, and they've been really good. But you'll see, might try out some exits this coming season. We'll see.
Right on. Were there any like goals coming into your season, like something you wanted to accomplish or really focus on that you accomplished or got better at, gained the confidence or skill at?
Freestyle was yeah. Freestyle has been something that I've really wanted to push and like learn more of. So I feel like I learned a lot this season on that, and then got freestyle set up now at my house. So I'm going to continue to learn on that throughout the summer.
Nice. Those were really the two questions that I really wanted to ask. So, now.
Heck yeah.
Okay, cool. Travis, I'm sure you got a couple more in the bank, maybe.
Oh, maybe. So Kyle, where would be the dream place to ride, and who would you bring with you?
Ooh, that's a good one. BC. I love BC. And there's so many people I'd bring with me. That's the problem. You get too big of a group. No, if I could go anywhere, it'd probably be BC with some local homies. Just, some local rippiers. It's fun. I like small groups that move fast and we cover a lot of terrain. I like that a lot. Bigger groups where you don't move much all day, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what's the perfect number for group size for you, Kyle?
Probably about 4. 4, you can get out of a lot of shitty situations with 4 people. You can also get into a lot of shitty situations with 4 people, but it's not too much to keep track of. But there's enough people there that you can pick a sled up or do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, that is good when they're stuck to the handlebars to have an extra guy or two, not just you.
100%.
Did you make it to Canada?
Yep.
Or did the COVID crap, whatever you want to call it, get in the way?
I haven't been up there since they require a vaccine at the border.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Hopefully that'll change. But not hold my breath, I guess.
Hopefully. Right.
Can't even buy handguns anymore now up there.
Where was your most enjoyable ride, or where did you ride that you enjoyed the most this season?
Alaska. I did a 2-week trip up to Alaska, and that was super sweet. Got pretty lucky with the weather, too.
Nice.
Not so lucky with tracks, but
Yeah, not so lucky with tracks.
Well, Kyle, maybe you can come down to Oregon and ride with us sometime. It's not too far away.
yeah,
I've never rode Oregon. We were talking about that earlier.
Right on.
Have you ridden in Washington or not?
No, nope. I've rode up northern Idaho. That's probably as close as I've got to you guys in Oregon and Washington area.
Yeah, Baker's a nice, good riding area, but if you want to catch the good days, you got to catch it on a bluebird day, or you're gonna have a miserable day trying to find your way 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, I've heard that. That looks sweet over there,
it's
though.
fun. That's
I think Washington is slept on for snowmobiling. I made a pretty decent buddy over there, and he was sending me videos of the stuff they ride in, and it looks really good. And I wish more people knew about Washington, because I think I'm going to be making some more trips over there this coming season. That place looks great.
Yeah, it's a fun riding area. Eastern Washington, Northern Washington. Like where I live, I'm 5 miles from the Canadian border, so whatever Canada's getting, it'll come over to our mountains, especially February, January time up at Baker. It's deep, but spring riding around here is fun too. You catch the right days.
heck yeah. Yeah, I've only ridden Mount Adams that one time. Tom, it was the only time I've ever even ridden in Washington. I hear all kinds of stories, and Levi, I talked to you a little bit about that on your episode. I'd definitely like to do a lot more in Washington as well. But like Travis said, there's a lot of freaking sick places in Oregon halfway, and there's some others too.
Yeah,
But
that'd be on the list next season. Ride Oregon maybe. Go down to Idaho, ride Oregon on the way back. But Idaho was a bummer this season. It wasn't very enjoyable. I don't think for a lot of people. But snow conditions were terrible.
Yeah, just about everywhere.
Yeah, it came in late. Like it came in late for a lot of places. It got decent towards the end, but spring riding, it kind of just like started raining at 60 degrees, and then nothing really. It just washed out the road, so we can't ride.
heck yeah. Oh, any other questions? Travis, you got some more? Tom, you got something?
I think I got all mine asked. I can't come up with any more at the moment.
Okay. Tom, what about you?
What's the terrain like in Oregon where you guys ride?
We ride a little bit of everything. We've got trees, we've got wide open faces, we've got, you name it, Oregon has a little bit of everything. We're pretty lucky. It just depends on what spot we want to go to.
Is it a similar snowpack to like Whistler? Is it similar to that where there's a lot of
Depends on what
heavier
side of the state you're on.
Yep.
So the eastern side of the state, the snow's more dry. The western side of the state, it's more wet and packed. There's tall mountain, there's high elevations on both sides. There's much higher on the west side on average, but there's 9,000 foot peaks on the east side as well, 8,000 feet, depending on where you're going. Most of it's not that high, but there's quite a few places that are. So you can get some pretty good powdered days. It's really similar to a lot of places in Idaho, really. It's pretty close as the birds fly to like McCall.
Yeah, because halfway is only
rad. I've rode McCall a bit, and I like the snowpack there.
halfway is how far from McCall. It's pretty close, isn't it? Only an hour or two, if that.
You could drive straight there. It wouldn't be that far, but you have to go down and around, so it takes a little while.
Yeah, gotcha. What were you saying, Levi?
I was gonna ask Kyle, like, what kind of film setup do you have? Like, what kind of camera do you use, and how do you set your film up? Do you use a phone, GoPro, expensive camera? Like, what do you do?
I run an A7 III. This is my small lens. It's a Tamron 17 by 28, so that's like super wide view. My main lens is a 24 by 105 G Master. That's the one I started with, and that's been an awesome lens. And then I got this big long dog. It's 100 to 400. And I filmed a lot with that on a tripod up in Alaska, and that was by far my favorite setup I've done.
Oh, nice.
Do you keep a lot
But
of that?
mainly just an A7 III with a 24 by 105.
Nice.
Do you keep all that gear like in a Pelican case on your tunnel bag, or how do you store it?
I'm kind of particular about my camera stuff. I keep it all on my back, just because I don't like it getting slammed around in the tunnel. Some people don't mind that. I'm not a fan of it. So I choose to carry it on my back.
Gotcha. What's going off of content? I mean, obviously you do. Oh, there went Tom. Obviously you do, and he's back. Obviously you do a lot of crazy tricks and stuff, so that really helps from a content perspective and growing social media. But you know, you have a pretty decent following. What are some of the biggest contributing factors that you think over the last couple of years of growing, like your Instagram specifically, that has helped you get to where you're at?
Be true to what you are. Post what you are. Post what you like to do. It doesn't matter what people think. That's what I've come to learn.
That's facts. Heck yeah.
What's the next big move? You know, what's the next bow tie? Is it the backflip, or what's everybody going to be doing next year?
I don't know. The way sleds are going and how light they're getting. I don't know. The possibilities are endless on a sled, I think. I don't know what the next trick's going to be, but I think there's a lot of possibilities for new stuff. Especially if you start comparing tricks that people are doing on dirt bikes and in the freestyle motocross world, some of that kind of free riding stuff, and you look at sleds, they're a lot further along than we are.
I had a question for you. It's kind of summer, winter. Like, what do you do in the summertime to be able to ride so much in the wintertime? And then how much do you have to work in the wintertime?
I'm an electrician. So I'm an independent contractor, and I subcontract to a few other companies as well. But mainly in the trades, mainly electrical, but I do a bit of dirt work and framing. But I stack my summertime pretty full of work. I spend a lot of time working throughout the summer and then take a decent amount of time off in the winter. So I don't play as much in the summer. Kind of a trade-off. I've got some real estate investments as well. I got a rental on my property here as well.
So you don't work. How many days how many days a season do you normally have to like work in the wintertime?
This last winter, I took almost 4 months off.
6 months?
4.
Oh, 4? Yeah, you broke up.
Nice.
But I worked a lot last summer. I worked pretty much every weekend throughout the summer and was working 10 to 15 hour days every day. So
Got to pay to play.
Yeah, wasn't
yes, sir.
that last summer or whenever it was you were helping Caleb with his bunkhouse? I think I seen that, right? You were helping him out.
I was actually that was towards the end of my work season. I came down there and spent a few days helping him out get that all finished up. It was getting kind of crunch time, and I was starting to get some free time, so.
Nice.
Cool. Any other? Go ahead, Tom. Sorry. You don't think Slade will let you do that?
No, it doesn't happen every year.
Dude, that's a lot of time.
You're gonna have to get a side hustle to pay for the gas in your sled for next winter. It was 6.
I won't be taking as much time off this winter, I don't think.
Yeah.
I worked a lot last summer. I hardly played at all. And I've been playing a little bit this summer, so.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Well, we're at 25 minutes. That's pretty good stint. Do you guys have any other last few questions to wrap this up?
Just out of the curiosity, as a rider for you, what rider do you look up to? Like, who do you look up to as a rider?
It's a good question.
Well, there's a lot of people in the industry. I look up to Turcotte a lot on the freestyle stuff and the progression he's made over the years on that side of stuff. He's awesome what he's done and the career he's built for himself. And then look at, Chris Brandt down in Colorado, how he sleds. That's what he does. That's his living. Just all these guys have taken sledding and made it a career. That's like super cool to me. Super inspiring.
Nice.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I think we'll wrap this episode up. Kyle, I've told you 10 times in the last hour, but I appreciate you taking the time to do both episodes, jumping on here and sharing some of your answers with the boys.
Yeah.
Travis, Levi, and Thomas, I appreciate you guys also jumping on. Apologies on the little bit of a delay. We had some technology difficulties to begin with, Kyle and I did, so that pushed us back a little bit, but I appreciate you guys being patient and waiting to jump on here and being engaging and being a part of it. So appreciate all of you guys for tuning in and being here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and...
Thanks for having me, man. It's been great talking with all you guys.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Kyle. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Awesome. So, yeah, let's wrap it up. Sled Talk listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. And we will catch all of you. I don't think we're going to do a Sled Talk question for this one because this is a unique setting. So we'll wrap it up and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Living life with no regrets. I can't designer when I get dressed. Summertime on winter fresh. I put her legs behind her head. Night she gone to bed. Bye. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these chicks.